Hi, this is Wang with Constellation Research. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of ERP, especially in this AI age. So, a lot of folks think they can just slap on an agentic AI on top of an ERP and get to modernization. But what we've been doing is we've been talking to over 100 early adopters that are in the middle of the space, and they're telling you that this is not going to happen. Why is this? Because there's a lot going on. You can't just slap it on without expecting nothing to break. And more importantly, we've seen a lot of things that are actually happening that are really related to what do you do? How do you connect the data? Where's this business logic going? More importantly, what can we do to get to the last mile? And so expertise is now a commodity. So the AI expertise is everywhere, but the real question is, what are you using for experiences? And that's the hard work of connecting the dots and the big picture around value chains, thinking about the business logic and actually building it for both human and machine scale. And of course, figuring out how to deliver on the last mile of deep experiences. What does that look like? And so, what's going on? Well, these ERP systems actually have really strong points, and these are pretty good modes, especially if you've got data. That systems of record, especially in an ERP, is going to be gold. It's not easily replaced. It's the core of the business information and logic. When we think about what's happening in terms of these systems of record, well, vendors have the ability to actually get to distribution. They deliver it through SaaS. They deliver it through a global system integrator. These are the channels that actually make it work. And of course, the relationships. If you think about what's required, it's not just the account relationship, it's the support, it's the training, it's the education, it's the client success teams. And of course, there are a lot of experiences here. This is really the ability to deliver by industries, markets, and values. So what's really happening? Well, we're seeing this big shift happen in ERP. It's about a machine-to-machine world going forward, whether it's workflows and deterministic automation, things that we know that we actually have to do to get to efficiency, or where we get to probabilistic decision intelligence, where we think about how decisions are made, how we track that, and how we figure out where that future design point is going to be when a human is inserted, right? When and where a human is inserted in the process as we collapse decision trees becomes important because we learn. We learn from those actions in terms of tests. And then, of course, we're expecting a future of composable architectures and ecosystems. This will take time as agents break through. And of course, operational technology and IT are coming together. That convergence is real with decisions happening at the edges. We're bringing all these capabilities, and this is going to change quality and supply chains. It's also going to change safety as we look at these advancements. And then we've got to build for security in a post-quantum world. The encryption, you've heard of Anthropic's Mythos, finding software vulnerabilities across the board. This is only going to continue. And we're also seeing a shift back to on-premises, partly because of token economics, partly because of security. And of course, we're seeing a hard re-examination of forced security protocols come here. And then, of course, the death of UX. Long live UX. Both are actually happening here. We're going to see new types. Conversational is important, but machine-to-machine interfaces are just important. So this myth that AI is going to destroy ERP is actually not true. AI innovations are actually building on the ERP backbone, and they're not going to be replacing it. Let's think about where we are. Traditional ERP versus modern ERP. In the world of UX, traditional ERP is screen-based. Modern ERP is going to be headless, machine to machine. We think about decisions. They're human heavy today. We're going to see highly machine automated in the future. If we think about logic, it's heavily deterministic. In the future, it's probabilistic. Maybe even it's going to get to a point where it is actually sentient. And of course, where data is. Data today is static schema. In the future, it's ontology-driven. And of course, data today is large databases and tables. In the future, it's microservices. These are all coming together. That's the point. Traditional systems of record or systems of transaction like ERP are going to require more than lightweight agents and even smart agents for modernization. Oh, there are a lot of experts that are forecasting the demise of these traditional systems. You've heard SaaS apocalypse. It's actually not necessarily true. Constellation believes that these core systems are not only going to survive AI displacement, they are the foundation for this agentic AI revolution and the modernization that's happening. And it's more importantly than just slapping on agentic AI system on top. It's like what we did with RPA. You can't just slap it on top and then expect things to get better because the core system is what you're building on top of. And if the core isn't modernized, everything else doesn't follow. So anyways, these are the big trends and look forward to